Are you ready to leave the United States and move to France to teach English? I'm Alex, and I've been living in France for over 5 years teaching English at the university level. And I've learned through trial and error what to do and what not to do in order to stay in France and to teach English. And you know that I have a bunch of free content over here on the blog and on this YouTube channel. But now for the first time, I have my own course that is designed to help you move to France and teach English. I didn't think it would be so difficult to find English teaching jobs after I graduated with my master's degree from Columbia University. You know, it's an Ivy League college, so I thought, yeah, the jobs are going to flow. They're just going to come. I don't have to worry about that. I'm just going to worry about getting my college degree. Well, once I graduated from my university, I realized it was a lot more difficult to find jobs than I thought. The problem with teaching English is that everyone in the US teaches English, and therefore all the jobs that I could find were just part-time. When there weren't enough students, or when there were just too many teachers, they couldn't offer me enough classes, and then my salary suffered. I had to work 2 to 3 part-time jobs just to make ends meet in the United States. And I always dreamed, wouldn't it be awesome if I could have one stable job? And wouldn't it also be awesome if I could travel abroad, if I could use this in a place where they really valued me as a native English speaker? So when I was a kid, I lived in France for a few years and I learned some French. I kept up with it, and so I was able to maintain my level of French. And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be awesome if I could move back to France as an adult and teach English? But whenever I thought about that, there's so many things that stopped me, you know? I was thinking to myself, yeah, but I'm not a European citizen. I'm not a French citizen. So I need the right to work. So how do I get the visa? Then I need to find a university that will actually hire me, give me a full salary, a full year salary, and will actually work for me, that will hire me, that I'm qualified for, you know? And so I thought to myself, no, there's no way I'm going to find it. I'm just going to keep on going with these part-time jobs. Until one day when my university sent me through a job listserv, a position that I thought I was qualified for. And even when I looked at this job, I thought to myself, no, the salary is too low. I could never afford to work on that salary. But it turns out that it's a lot easier to get a job teaching in France than you think. And you shouldn't take, at first glance, the salary, because salaries in France and the US are difficult. Rent is a lot lower in cost in France compared to the US. And you can do so much more because so much more is covered for you. So I realized that moving to France and teaching English is a lot easier than you think. I thought that they don't hire many foreigners, but it turns out that they hire hundreds of foreigners every year. Universities all across France, every single year, are hiring foreigners, native English speakers, at their universities for 2 different types of positions, a maître de langue and a lecteur de langue. They hire these foreigners for 1 to 2 years contracts at a time, and because they can only do it for 2 years, they always hire newly. I wish I had known this when I started, you know? And then once I started it and I got the job offer, which was very difficult, by the way, and this was over 5 years ago, I was able to figure out how to go through the visa process, and that was very difficult on its own. I finally managed to get through it, but it was through trial and error, and it was really difficult. So I always thought, I wish that there would have been someone who could help me move to France and teach English, help me find these jobs, because at this point now, after 5 years, I've taught at 4 different universities. I've gotten between 7 and 9 different job offers, and I've been living in France for over 5 years. So I think I know what I'm talking about when I say that I know a thing or two about applying to jobs in France at the university level and teaching English. So I wish I had someone like me who would explain the process, you know? And so that's why I wanted to come on today, because I wanted to share with you a course I just created that does just that. If you're worried about the application process and finding the universities in France, if you're worried about applying with a good cover letter and a good resume so that they'll notice you and give you that interview, if you're worried about passing that interview and knowing what questions they will ask you, then this course is for you. If you're someone who dreams about living abroad and having a stable full-time English teaching job while also living in Europe, speaking French, eating a croissant and having a French coffee in the morning before you take the train to Germany, and living a European lifestyle, this course is for you. Don't let yourself be limited by what you think you can do and just take the easy way out and do 2 to 3 part-time jobs in the US where all the costs are so high. I'm telling you, invest in yourself and take this course, or at least learn about these positions. And I'm here to help you. not only do I have this course that I've created for you, but I also have a website where you can learn on your own. And it depends. Everyone has a different style of learning. If you want to do it yourself, I have a YouTube channel, I have blog posts that talks about these positions, and there's all the information is out there. But there are some things that are not out there. When I applied to these different universities, different human resources managers hired me or not, depending upon different elements. And I had to learn this myself. So I would communicate that information with you. I'd share a lot of this already on the course, but I also offer one-on-one consulting if you're interested in that and you want to work with me directly because you have a special situation, like perhaps you want to come with a spouse or you want to stay for more than the first 2 years, which is usually what the contracts are. Living in France has changed my life. I never thought it was possible to get a full, stable, full-time job for the whole year where I'd have all this free time and a set salary where I didn't have to worry about making ends meet and having enough students to fill my classes. When I was living in the US, I had to work 2 to 3 part-time jobs. When I moved to France, I can really focus on the quality of life and of living and not just struggling to make ends meet. And you can do that as well. You can move to France and create an incredible dream of living in France and teaching English. Also, if you want to learn about my experience moving to France, if you want to know how to move to France, I also wrote an ebook about all my experience and my best recommendations on moving to France, so you can check out the ebook link below. If you have any questions or there's any content that you would like me to make, please let me know in the comments below and I'm happy to make it for you. Alright, that's it for today. Au revoir mes amis!